Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 31 for PSES, the Hi-Tech Security Services 75 here at the High Banks of Talladega, also sponsored by Mike's Designs and Paints. Last week we saw a wild race at Vegas, but with no playoff drivers punching their ticket into the final 8 with a win, Dega becomes that much more important to capture the checkered flag. With anything bound to happen at Dega, who is going to take home the win tonight? Stay tuned to find out as I'm here with Jordan McGraw bringing you all the action from the booth. Jordan, what's up tonight? How are you?
I'm just lovely, I guess.
It's going to be a wild night. I mean, we're in the playoffs. We're getting ready. This is the penultimate race before we head to the round of 8. So this is one of those races. Anything can happen. It can make or break some of these guys that are on the cutoff. So I'm a little nervous for a few of them, but pretty excited for some others. So I also want to give a shout out to both the sponsors that we have. So we have Hi-Tech Security Services, and we also have Mike's Paint and Design. So really awesome to see that, and I appreciate all you guys coming out here. I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a wild race. And thank you so much, Unique, for the follow. And also, 1,000 biddies, thank you so much. Man, all the hype already. But, Jordan, we already have guys out in qualifying.
Cheered. X1000.
We do indeed.
Matt O'Brien out on track. Michael York out on track. What are you seeing, Jordan?
I'm just really curious to see what kind of lines these guys run. We see Matthew O'Brien, he's out there, and he's actually running around that second, or that white dotted line, not quite up to the wall. He's already coming down the racetrack here before he's even completed a lap for time. So this is going to be a one lapper, and this is something that's interesting about Talladega and Daytona on iRacing. We normally on racing games, usually that second lap is the hot lap, but with the way the tire model works here on iRacing, there's a lot of tracks. Like with Daytona and Talladega, with those two tracks, that first lap can be a little bit better just because of the way the tire wears. It still takes half a tenth or a full tenth off of your time. It doesn't seem like it should, but that's kind of the way it works. So a lot of these drivers going to get down to the yellow line as soon as they can, as soon as they feel like they're up to speed, and that first lap likely to be the quicker lap.
Absolutely. I agree with you. The first lap usually for these are going to be the faster lap for these guys. So we'll see what happens. But Honeycutt, thank you for the biddies. I really appreciate it. Matt O'Brien, Andrew Wisdom having really, really fast times out there. So we'll see how these guys compare. But man, oh man, not wanting to show up really well on here. I don't know why it always does that. Andrew Wisdom out here, Matt O'Brien, Joel Conley on the board at number 3, Michael York in 4th, and those are the only 4 times that I'm seeing at the moment. We also have now Chris Fathke out there. He is on the board, P6. Charlie Mosley Jr. coming in at 7th. These guys are still out and running, and I don't, position I feel like means a ton. If I'm out here at Talladega, I want to be on the front, not in the middle where everything bad happens, or in the back. Back may not be as bad if you have a little room to, avoid the incidents, but I want up front, Jordan.
Yeah, the way that the Cup cars seem to have been acting, it's really, really tough to make passes. You really have to have a lot of help. That outside lane has, from what I've heard, been tough to make work with these cars. So you definitely want to be toward the front. You want to all the track position you can. You especially want to start on the inside line. So that you don't have to try to fight your way down there, because I think the inside lane is going to be the dominant one. That doesn't mean the outside lane isn't going to work at parts, and that's what you're going to have to work. You're going to have to make that work if you're going to want to eventually win this race. But I think starting out here, it's going to be a tough fight for that double yellow line.
Absolutely. Remember, guys, the guys that are in the playoffs, they are outlined in purple on the ticker and also on their cars. So Cole Snyder, you can see him out there having a good time so far. P10 at the moment. We'll see if he can improve that as qualifying is coming to an end, about halfway over. So we still have some time. Only 12 guys on the board so far. And I don't know why it does that during qualifying, but every time My ticker messes up for some reason. But let's take a look at who else is out there. Adam Rowe out there in that number 15 coming to an end. Taking P5, Justin Mons. Looks like P13 in that number 41 machine. Another playoff driver. Let's take a look at the playoff standings while we're out here watching it. Wisdom in the lead with 2,041 points. We have Honeycutt in second with 2,035. Haynes and Snyder are tied for 2,031 for third. We have Doc Holliday in fifth at 2,029. And remember, the last 4 drivers after this round will be cut. So there's only going to be 8 that are moving on for hopes of a championship. So points are getting super tight, especially further down you go. So these guys are racing for a lot. There's a lot on the line tonight. So quite the race to have so much on the line for. Dega, I'd be very nervous if I were these guys.
Yeah, there's so much that's going to be completely out of your hands, out of your out of your own, you know. It's really, you can't do your own thing, rely on other people. It's just going to be a really tough night for these guys. Gonna have to pick your times to be patient, but for a lot of these drivers, aggression, you're going to have to time it right, and at some point you're going to have to be aggressive and make good moves and make the right moves and the smart moves to come home. If not the winner, then with a good point stay so that you still have a chance with the championship before the season is done.
Absolutely. A lot of pressure for these drivers tonight. But again, while we're waiting for these guys, I do want to give a huge shout out to both our sponsors, Mike's Paint and Designs and Hi-Tek Security Services. Awesome to have these guys aboard. You'll hear me talk about these guys throughout the race, so welcome aboard. Glad to have you. And we see the 64 moving up to P4. Great for him. Jamie Haynes, P10 at the moment. Jose Ruiz, he's out there, P12.
Cheered.
Thank you guys so much for the
250.
cheers again. 500, 250. Oh my goodness, you guys are crazy out there. I love the hype you guys are giving, the energy. I think, Jordan, we've talked about this. I think we're going to see a lot of single file racing. These guys are going to try to be careful. Like I said, there's a lot on the line tonight. The package is extremely hard to take to the outside. You have to have a lot of guys with you. So if they are brave enough to go to the outside, they're really going to need a lot of help in order to make that momentum move and make up some positions.
Yeah, you're going to have people with you. There's nothing you can do by yourself, and even 2, maybe even 3 cars. These drivers can get hooked up. They can get nose to tail, and they seem to be able to get a really good run, but that run will only last as long as they're unimpeded for one, but also as long as that engine temperature of that second car stays down. It does not take long for those temps to start climbing to dangerous levels without that air getting to the nose, to the radiator of that car. So you can hook up. It's a nice last ditch effort, kind of a move, but it's definitely not one these drivers need to be trying or working on early in this race, unless they're wanting to experiment, in which case, push away.
Absolutely. It's gonna be crazy. You see, we saw Hunter Johnson out there. He's one on the bottom. He missed last week's race, is going to be in a must-win situation to move on in the final 8. So he's got a lot to race for tonight. That is a driver who definitely can get things done. A bit aggressive, so we'll see how he can handle himself throughout this race, and can he get himself a win. A lot on the line, like I said, but man, get ready for this race, guys. It's gonna be wild. And man, Spring Rock, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Gifted a sub to Woody. You guys are awesome out there. These guys are getting ready to grid up. It is going to be a wild race. And while we are waiting for the grid is brought to you by Mike's Paint and Designs. For all your car design needs, it starts at very reasonable $5 for custom paints and $10 $5 for basic paints and $10 for custom paints. So guys, be sure to check him out. Really awesome out there. We'll see if we can't get this grid up and running. It is going to be close, though. We see that we have Andrew Wisdom on pole. Hunter Johnson, he took over second, so it's going to be a very, very close one out there. I'm pretty excited for it. Love Talladega racing, but man, oh man, a lot going on for these guys as they are coming down to the wire here. Jordan, are they still out and running?
There's still a few minutes left in qualifying. I think everyone has made their. They're not minutes, a few seconds, I should say. There's about 30 seconds, a little less than that in qualifying. I think everyone's made their lap that wants to make one, but we're just waiting for the time to run out. And as I say that, it just ran out.
It just ran out, and we're getting ready to go to the grid. That is brought to you by Mike's Paint and Design. So let's get started. Andrew Wisdom on pole out there. You'll see him in that number 9 car. Hunter Johnson in the number 32 on the outside. In row 2, we have Charlie Mosley Jr. in that number 60 with Matt O'Brien in the 17 on the outside. Douglas King in row 3 in the 64 with Ryan Crooks on the outside in the 25. In row 4, we have Jorge Rincon in the number 28 with Adam Rowe in the 15. And row 5, we have Thomas Harmon in the number 68 with Joel Conley on the outside in that number 62.
In row 6, starting 11th, Michael Everidge on the inside of Sean Burke. Jamie Haynes and Christopher Fathke make up row 7. Sammy Harrell and John Honeycutt are in row 8. Jose Ruiz is in 17th with Cole Snyder in 18th. Justin Mons in 19th with Enrique Quinones outside of him in row 10.
In row 11, we have Michael York in the number 5 with Thomas Flitcroft in the number 8. In row 12, we have Doc Holliday in the 88 with Sean Blanchard in the 91. And row 13, we have Robert Reynolds in the 10 car with Jacob Kerr on the outside in that 20 car. In row 14, we have Connor Cunningham in the 3 car with Bud Shear in the 93. And last but certainly not least, number 29 for the amount of cars that we have Michael Bain in the 84. Jordan, that's going to be our group 29 cars out here tonight. I'm excited. It's going to be a wild one. Like I said, expect single file racing for a little bit. But man, a lot on the line, points on the line, wins on the line. A lot of guys looking to grab a win here. And I got to call Sean Burke out. It is his birthday tonight. He is looking for a win on his birthday. So a huge birthday shout out to him. Man, hopefully we see you in the booth afterwards. BK Doug, what's up? Kool-Aid, it is grid time. It's time to go. We're getting ready to go here. Rock NASCAR, how are you? Chris Bathke out there saying 14th, let's go. Kool-Aid. Oh, thank you so much. Jay Ray says qualified 13th. Got some work to do. You got all race to do it, so you got this. Got this. Fabia out there, Hi-Tek Security Services. Absolutely. Hi-Tek Security Services 75 at Talladega, getting ready to begin, Jordan.
Yeah, and it's really going to be interesting to see how this race starts off here with these drivers. Be aggressive. Will they be passive? Obviously, if you're in the back, a lot of those guys are going to be attempting to just ride around and save their faster pair. But you have to imagine that a lot of these guys toward the front are going to want to hold on to that track position. Those drivers on the outside, how aggressive are they going to be pushing, shoving, trying to keep that outside lane and beyond formed, or how hard and aggressive will they be trying to get into that inside lane?
Yeah, you have Hunter Johnson out there on the high side. You know he's going to be aggressive. Andrew Wisdom, we always see him up front. This guy's got a lot of talent, so he's going to have a great start here. I'm excited to see what they can do. He's got Matt O'Brien directly behind, I do believe. Let's take a look. Yeah, he's right behind Hunter Johnson. And from what I know, those two really do enjoy pushing each other and making their way out front. And we're getting ready to go green here. You can see these guys really on top of it as we're getting ready to go. It is going to be extremely close. A lot of anticipation, getting ready to see how this race turns out. You can see the guys in purple. They are in the playoffs. A lot on the line for these guys as 12 will be moving on to 8. And we are green here at the Hi-Tek Security Services 75 at Talladega. Hunter Johnson gets a great start, makes it down to the bottom along with Matt O'Brien. Man, oh man, take a look at these guys. The high side already trying to do something, Jordan, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to stay up there. I guarantee they're all going to be looking to go down low.
Yeah, the top 3 cars, it looked like, all bailed to that inside lane right off the get-go. So that outside lane already starting to fall apart. You have the 62 pushing the 15 up there as hard as they can. But I think there's just not enough cars, not enough momentum, especially with these cars not quite up to full song yet, as they're trying to get wound up, trying to get up to speed around this long 2.66 mile track. Now we have a couple of takers pop into the outside there. We'll see if they'll be able to make that work in that high line. What I'm noticing here is those drivers not really running tight to that inside lane. Sometimes that can be beneficial, sometimes that can be detrimental to your attempt to work out there. Sometimes you decide to draft those drivers on the inside, but usually, and it sounds like there's something going on in the back.
Hey man, your
Caution is out. Let's take a look, find out what happened. You can just see, I'm trying to find out where it happened at, but they are not showing me. Let's take a look. Connor Cunningham, it looks like he was involved. Tom Flitcroft, I can see him involved. Man, collecting the number 3, really unfortunate to see. Early caution here, only on lap 2 of 75.
Yeah, oh wow, yeah, the 45 looked like just got into the 27 there, and Tom Flitcroft went for a heck of a ride.
Captain, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Hall, thank you for the biddies. You guys are awesome out here. Let me know who your driver is. Hunter Johnson to the lead. Andrew Wisdom gonna be in 2nd. Matt O'Brien in 3rd. Ryan Crooks in 4th. And Jorge Rincon in 5th. Words are hard for me, apparently. Do you pit, Jordan, or are you going to stay out for these guys?
I mean, if you're at the front, you want to stay out, but if you're in the back, maybe you top off fuel, maybe you repair some damage. I don't know, but yeah, you're definitely, if you're in the position to stay out, then yeah, you definitely want to stay out there.
We'll see if we have any takers down pit road. Thomas Flitcroft going to go in, repair that damage. These guys lining back up together as we are under caution. Lap 3 of 75. 18, what's up? How are you? Hope you guys enjoy the race tonight. We do have a taker for pit road. Hunter Johnson, our leader, goes down pit road. Very interesting call, Jordan. John?
Yeah, he's known for some interesting calls. Maybe he wants to spice things up. Maybe he had an issue. Maybe there was something wrong with his pedals or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, definitely an interesting thing. And you can see a lot of these other drivers toward the back. They're coming in again, probably just to top off the fuel, just in case. We ran a for fun race last night where fuel became an issue here at this track. It was in different cars, but it doesn't really matter. It's still the same thing. You want to have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. So I think some of these guys taking that opportunity to make sure the car is nice and clean and smooth, and it's brimmed with fuel. Absolutely.
Interesting that I saw, though, all Team FTR was on pit road. So I'm thinking a little strategy team call there. Andrew Wisdom will be leading us out. Matt O'Brien in 2nd. Ryan Crooks in 3rd. Jorge Rincon in 4th. Thomas Harmon, he's going to be out here in 5th with Mike Everidge. He's going to be P6, looking on the outside in of top 5. And Charlie Mosley Jr. in 7th. Douglas King in 8th. Sean Burke who's got a birthday today. He is going to be in 9th with Adam Rowe. He's going to be rounding out the top 10. Shout out to our sponsors, Mike's Paint and Design. As I said, these guys, he does a fantastic job. Very well made designs and very affordable, so be sure to check him out. And Hi-Tek Security Services, they have incomparable security service to safeguard life, property, and assets. You can go visit them at highteksecuritynow.com. Jordan, I gotta ask you, if you were out here, would you take a chance this early on and try to go on the outside, or are you going to just fall in line and hope that you can keep your car clean and make some moves later on in the race?
It depends on the momentum. It depends on just how you feel the energy of the race is going. Like if you're up in that outside lane and you feel like that inside is starting to get some momentum and there's a hole, you got to make a split decision to go down to whether to wait it out on the outside or to go where that the faster waters where the toe is going. You know, you gotta follow it. So it just kind of depends. Like if it feels like the outside is staying organized and getting some momentum going. I like being on the outside just because you have a lot more room to maneuver and you don't have to worry about getting pinched down to the yellow line if you have a mistake. Excuse my phone there. If you have that room and that opportunity, and if something happens, you have some area to work with, to dodge toward. I like being in that outside lane. It just, there's not a whole lot of speed out there sometimes. You have to work to make it out there, and so that's where the difficulty comes from. You need help, you need friends, and you need other people on the same page and with the same idea and level of aggression as you. So again, it's probably not a great answer, but yeah, it all depends. There's not a perfect situation for everything, but I like being on the outside. It just sometimes isn't viable.
I agree with you, unfortunately, with this package. And this is not the next-gen cars. This is the regular Cup cars that these guys have, that they are in fixed setups. So, yeah, these guys, this more powerful car, but the package makes it extremely difficult to try and take that on the outside. So, you have to do what you can work with here, and we'll see how these guys do. But it is very easy also, the draft, as you're sucking up to the guy in front of you. The guys that are not in the very front, they will be off the gas so much more than you think. I mean, you're going to see this throughout. There's going to be a lot of spacing in between these guys. If not, you have a chance to wreck out the guy in front of you and perhaps cause the big one. So these guys really do have to be delicate. And with the playoff race on the line, it can get pretty tricky.
Green flag.
Back to green once again. Andrew Wisdom out front. Matt O'Brien in second. Ryan Crooks in third. You can see these guys are really well spread out. These guys are trying to find their line on the low side, trying to find their way out there. A couple of stragglers out there on the outside. Kind of interesting to see that out there. We have the 28 car trying to make something work out there, but no luck so far.
Yeah, and it's interesting those two on the outside there. The top four have run away here early on in this run, and then meanwhile a couple of drivers have already have opted to stay on that outside lane, and they're just going to let a lot of drivers around them on the inside. But maybe they're just trying to get to the back of that second pack. Maybe that's where they feel it's a little bit safer. Maybe they've decided they want to go to the back after we had that early wreck, even though that early wreck happened in the back. So, it's just very interesting. The thoughts and the strategies that go into this race. We'll see if they pop down here to the bottom once that second line passes them. It looks like they are. So I think they just deemed that the safest place to be. But right now, the top four single file, that second group is catching them. But already we're seeing the kind of race that I think we expected to see. Everybody wrapping that yellow line.
We're on board with John Honeycutt for the Hi-Tek Security Services Cam. And I'll tell you what, you can see how tight it is. These guys trying to form on the outside, making great momentum. So we'll see what they can do with it. But boy, oh boy, what a wild race. Yeah, look at this. I didn't think we're going to see it this early on, but I'm pretty impressed. We'll see what these guys can do so far, but these guys are really making some work. We have the 25 car leading that pack. That is going to be Ryan Crooks. We see him up front a lot in the races that he is in, so pretty exciting to watch all this racing happening this early on.
Yeah, that outside lane had numbers on the inside lane, but it still just wasn't able to generate enough of momentum there to battle back and complete that move. So not that's gonna be something that keeps these drivers from going to that outside lane. If, you know, early on in this race, fresh tires, everything feeling good, you get some momentum, getting out there feeling nice and spry, and then the car just doesn't go, even though you should have the advantage. That's gonna make these drivers wary of sticking their nose out.
Yeah, unfortunately, but man, oh man, we have two huge packs forming right now. And take a look at this. Sean Burke in that 223 car doing a great job making his way up to the front. So got to give him huge props for that. These guys are doing great work out here. You can see, I was talking about it earlier, unless you are the car that is pushing the leader, you really want to give some space. And you can see Sean Burke is doing that right now. He's doing a great job in that 223. We'll see if he can bring a win home on his birthday tonight. And that cam was brought to you by Mike's Paint and Design. Great job by these guys tonight. I want to see more 2 and 3 wide action. I love it. I love it.
Already the 27 of Christopher Fathke. He has lost the draft. Everybody else is in one of these packs. The 20 of Jacob Kerr, the 84 of Michael Bain are holding off the that second pack, or that third pack, I should say, the last pack in line. They're pretty well off of it, but they're still able to get some draft from behind, so they should be all right. The 88 of Doc Holliday as well, and these are all drivers that started in the back, are opting to try to, you know, take it easy here and avoid any wrecks. But up in front of them is that 8 of Thomas Flitcroft, as well as the 3 of Connor Cunningham. Those two drivers were involved in that first yellow. Both have had to use up that faster pair, so they're definitely trying to be conservative here, as we're still very early in this event.
Absolutely. You know, this is a fair strategy. A lot of guys, they don't want anything to do with the front at the beginning of a race. They want to take it easy. They want to hang out in the back and just make sure they stay clean. These guys do have one faster pair, but at a super speedway, you can use that pretty early on. These guys are starting to form yet another line. Jordan, what do you see?
The 68 of Thomas Harmon, he got a nice push from the 223 of Sean Burke, and he thought that was the signal to go. He popped to the outside lane, and Burke gave him the old do-si-do and popped back in line. And that is the most frustrating thing as a driver. That makes you absolutely never want to work with that driver ever again. When they do that, they lay onto your bumper, they get super aggressive like they want to go, and you decide that you want to go too, and you pop out, and they just take the free position instead of working with you to try to take the lead. That is the most frustrating thing that can happen at these, whether that's a miscommunication, whether that's mind games or whatever. That is not a move that I would pull on lap 12, because that's going to be tough to get help if that situation is reversed. But it worked for Sean Burke to get into that third position. Now he's in a better spot. Harmon fell all the way back to the 9th spot. It looks like maybe 10th. Can't really tell there, but yeah, that's one of those things that I would, if I'm Harmon, I'm keeping that in the back of my mind for the rest of this race.
Absolutely. Take a look at John Honeycutt in that number 50, gaining 11 positions. We also have Sean Burke, who Jordan was just talking about, gaining 9 positions. These guys are on the move, and that's the great thing about Super Speedway, is that if you can position yourself in a good spot, you can really make up a lot of positions. You can also lose a lot also if you go out and no one goes with you, which is what we just saw. Now we're seeing the Cold Dog Racing guys going to the outside. Michael York to the outside. They are the only two out there right now, so that is going to look not so great for these guys. They're gonna try to get some more teammates out there. John Honeycutt taking a peek, runs into the 41.
Oh,
really
there they go.
unfortunate. There they go.
Oh, right.
That's gonna be a big one.
Oh, that's going to be a large one. One of these drivers in the back miss. Oh, a couple of them hit.
Oh, 41 comes back on track, takes out another car. Man, really unfortunate to see that.
Now, let's see what happened there. It looked like yeah, oh god, the 5 just kind of came.
Yeah, the 5 came down.
Yeah, the 5 just kind of, hip checked. I believe that is the, what car is that? That's the 28 machine of, or no, that's the 41 of Justin Mons. Yeah, and Mons just a innocent bystander there on the inside
Nowhere
lane.
for him to go.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We want these drivers to be aggressive, but we don't want them to be. We want them to be smart while they're doing it, and yeah, that's just. It's a little too early for the hip checking. Maybe a little side drafting, but it's a little too early to be super and hyper aggressive with it, especially with the way netcode works in this game. Occasionally, you want to take care of each other out there.
Yeah, I honestly, the way he came down, I truly think that he thought he was clear. Possibly, it came down a little faster than what I feel like if he knew someone was there. So I think that was just an unfortunate incident. And as is said in chat, he's not going to be happy about that. And Jay Mons is in chat and he says, "You are correct." Mons, get that thing fixed up. We'll get you back out here. Still have all race. Hopefully you can use your fast repair and not have to need it again.
Yeah, the 28 of Jorge Rincon also spun out in that one. The 24 got some massive damage from the 41 coming back on track. Michael Everidge, so those drivers likely going to have to go to a fast repair. The 25 involved. That's just a lot of cars ended up caught up in that one.
Halm 34 cheers.
Yeah, that was definitely a big one.
250.
And early on, lap 15 of 75. And Hall, thank you so much. 250 bits, 250 bits. Oh my goodness. Just absolutely crazy. Chris Tricky says earlier, leader is burning fuel. That's another thing. If you are the leader, it's great. That's a place I want to be. Fuel-wise, not the best place, but fortunately for him, he's not going to have to worry about that if he went in to take some fuel. Connor Cunningham going to lead us back to the green. Doc Holliday directly behind him. These guys are making some strategy calls. Joel Conley taking out the poor blue cone. Poor cone. You can see a couple of playoff guys out front.
It's so much. It just, so many people abuse the poor thing.
I know. It's sad days. I don't know why people do that to the poor cone. All right, I'm gonna try to get Mr. Connor into the booth here. Connor, it's Eliza. How are you doing? Oh, Connor, are you there?
Yes, sadly.
Strategy call play on your end. You're going to be leading us back to green. How you feeling about this? How's your race going so far?
Yeah, about that, leading him to the green. Yeah, I'm damaged from that wreck. Cause cause everybody was up top and I tried to go up, hoping they would go down. They didn't. I was still on the brakes and hit them. So I'm B-pinning here. My day is already done because I already used my fast repair after getting killed by Tom 50. So I'm done here. So.
Well, hopefully it's not too much damage. I hope to see you out there soon. I'll let you get on to pit road. Take it easy out there.
I'll try.
All right, that was Connor Cunningham having to go in to fix that damage. That is going to leave Doc Holliday. He's going to be leading us off to green. A playoff driver out there. He also has Andrew Wisdom, another playoff driver. It is going to be close. I want to take a look at the standings here. You can just see how close it is. Wisdom is in the lead in points with 2,041. Honeycutt not too far behind him. He's sitting P7 at the moment. So these guys, a lot to race for, a lot of points on the line, and there's a lot of playoff drivers out front here, Jordan.
Do what? Sorry, I was eavesdropping on some team radio there. What was the question?
I was just saying how there's a lot of playoff drivers out front here that are going for the win.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are. Yeah, that's why I think a lot of these drivers are being hyper conservative toward the front here. We haven't seen a whole lot of purple bumpers and spoilers and side skirts be too aggressive here at the very beginning of this race. So yeah, I think that's pretty well the strategy for these guys, to just kind of take it easy, try to take care of each other, and so far it's worked with them toward the front. But the laps are going to continue to wind down. We're going to continue to get these accidents, these kind of random accidents, and eventually the field's going to get bunched up. It's going to be time to go, and we're going to see how these drivers are able to handle it.
Absolutely. Hall, I did see your biddies. Thank you so much. I did call it out. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Doc Holliday going side by side with Andrew Wisdom, who will start on the outside. Oh my goodness, the amount of playoff drivers that are out here in the front. Quite a few guys. You're seeing about 7 of them, 8 of them, 9 of them in the top 10 or so. So a lot of close racing. Doc Holliday already getting out there pretty soon. Waiting for the pace car to get off the track here so he can go. And this guy, he is on it. He's already jumping at the bit there. These guys are off once again, lap 16 of 75, side by side with Andrew Wisdom. Will he have the momentum? I think going through the corner, he is going to lose that, as he's got more track to race and not a lot of help behind him. He's got Sean Burke on the outside, but it's not going to be enough, or will it, Jordan? These guys are still pretty close side by side as we're headed to the backstretch.
Yeah, they're working really, really hard in that outside lane, and Wisdom really wants to get around that 88 machine of Doc Holliday. He's there. This is something we haven't really seen all race. Is that outside lane put up a really good fight for the lead, but it looks like the 88 going to continue to fight back here on that inside lane. Who's going to have the lead here? They're going to come through the tri-oval. If this were the last lap of the race, it would be Doc Holliday. Maybe nope. Andrew Wisdom, I think, got it at the very last second by 0.003 seconds. 0.003 of a second was the margin at the line there. Andrew Wisdom able to lead that lap. But our entire front here is side by side by side. I think we see a difference here. Everyone knows that 9 car gonna be smooth, gonna be quick. I think that's why a lot of them really willing to go to that outside lane to try to push and work with him, as opposed to the 88 of Doc Holliday. He's someone that we see a lot at the front of the field. Honeycutt.
Very tight right there, man. Up the track, that is going to devastate that high line. They're going to lose all momentum. Somehow, no caution out just yet. I don't know if anyone else got involved in that, but these guys are still green. Lap 18 of 75.
Yeah, the 93 of Bud Shearer made an excellent save there off the bumper of the 50 of John Honeycutt, and that's something we see. Honeycutt can be very aggressive with pushing, even through the corners. Sometimes that can be beneficial. Sometimes that can be to the detriment of the others around him. But he's somebody that's going to pick and choose when to be aggressive, and that time it cost him just a little bit.
These guys back to single file line. That's going to allow the second pack to try to catch them once again, but they're going to have to really start to work together. These guys, a couple of them in the back of this first pack, they are really trying to make something work with them. Tom Flitcroft really trying to hold on. We'll see if he can hold on to them. The last car in a pack is going to have the toughest time trying to hang on. You have no momentum behind you, no draft behind you to keep you up there. These guys really starting to flail out, trying to keep it together. Man, oh man, tight racing, Jordan.
Yeah, and it's tougher when you're in that second group. If you're in the back group, then you're not with a group that's trying to catch anything up front. You're not the front of that pack isn't getting any draft or anything like that. So you can sit there and ride. You could be much more patient if you're at the back of that front group, but at the back of that second pack, you have to hold on pretty well. You have to be pretty aggressive staying with that group because they are constantly generating forward momentum, and if you check up just an ounce too much, you can completely lose. You can lose enough momentum, and yeah, you'll lose that draft, and this is absolutely not a place where you want that to happen.
Very, very tight racing. You can see a little bit of space between Charlie Mosley Jr. and that 23 of Cole Snyder. That's what these guys have to do in order to keep the race clean.
Oh, here we go to the... Oh, the 23 pulled the same move that we saw earlier from the 68 and the 223. The 23 of Cole Snyder pushed the 17 of Matthew O'Brien and then just got back down in line behind him. Again, that is not a move I would pull at this point of the race. Meanwhile, in the very high lane, you see the 50 of John Honeycutt getting a big shove from the 32 of Hunter Johnson, and that's something we talked about in the pre-race. Two drivers can hook up and generate a ton of momentum. It just all depends on if they can get that move completed before those engine temps get too high. But right now, the 32 and the 50 still moving forward. It looks like Hunter Johnson, he's going to fall in line. He'll check up to allow the 50 in line. So an excellent move from those two, doing a great job working together to move into the third and fourth positions.
FTR team, definite strategy with those guys. Honeycutt going to try to take the outside once again. Hunter gonna go with him. They try to make a move past Doc Holliday, who is on the bottom. The 23 makes it to the inside. That's gonna be Cole Snyder as your new leader. We're gonna have Honeycutt. He's saying, I'm going for the whole thing. I want to lead it all. So Hunter Johnson, who is known to be quite the pusher, he will push you until you hit the wall. He does not care. If he wants you up there, he's gonna make it happen.
Yeah, they got out of line there for a second. I thought he was going to hook him, but Hunter did a nice job staying behind that rear bumper of John Honeycutt. That was an excellent move by those two to work their way to the front. The 23 of Snyder, after he had left the 17 out to dry, he thought he had an opportunity to take the lead. Now he keeps looking to the outside. He's not going to get any help from the 88. Meanwhile, the 68, he tried to look to the outside of the 88. They did not make that move. So they are still single file in the same position. But yeah, just an interesting sequence for Cole Snyder. He made a great, he pulled out at the right time. He had a great push. He took the lead, thought he was going to keep it. But those two FTR teammates that are currently leading, they had other things in mind.
You know, we have Hunter as a must-win situation, and this guy, he's going to do everything he can to secure that. John Honeycutt, on the other hand, our current leader, he's sitting pretty good in points, sitting P2 in points, just about 5 to 6 points behind our leader. So he's out here. He is always going to go for that win. He's going to try to help his teammate and try to get him into the round of 8. But when it comes down to it, teammate or not, you got to do what you got to do to get that win. Long single file line for these guys. The top 4 or 5 drivers, they are playoff drivers. It's going to be the top 4 right there. John Honeycutt is your leader. Hunter Johnson going to be in second. Cole Snyder, who is trying to look to the outside but no takers, he's going to be P3. Doc Holliday in 4th. Thomas Harmon, the first driver not in the playoffs, he's going to round out the top 5, Jordan.
Oh, we're starting to get a little bit of a race up here toward the front. John Honeycutt has had to move to the outside lane to stave off an attempt by the 23 of Cole Snyder to take the lead. They're able to get around that 32 of Hunter Johnson. A nice job from the 50 to hold on to the lead, but that will move Snyder into second. The 88 into third. We'll see if they try to make a move. Now the 32, he pops to the outside. He's going to get some help from the 68 of Harmon. He's willing to make that push. Behind him, that driver, that's Ryan Crooks. He does the do-si-do. He pulls that driver out to the outside lane, then pops in line to try to take a couple of free spots. And that's Again, I feel like it's a little too early to pull the betrayal move. I just think that's a little too early. Like if you're gonna feign, you're gonna go outside. You better go outside and try to make it happen. But now the 50, he's going to go to the outside. The 32, not going to try to make an aggressive move. He will push his teammate. Now the 50 tries to move back down. He saw that line getting momentum, and that's the thing. You have to abandon the outside lane if you see that inside lane coming back. 'Cause through the corner, it is going to be the preferred lane. Now he moves back out to that outside lane, which has the momentum coming off the corner. Now he's going to see if he can pull his teammate around that 23 machine so that the teammates can move back into the first and second position.
The 88 pushing Cole, but it's not enough. Hunter Johnson pushes teammate John Honeycutt right to the front once again. But man, these guys are just nose to tail. Cole Snyder all over the back bumper of Hunter Johnson. These guys are making me nervous. I love this type of racing. And Hall, thank you so much for the biddies, 250. I appreciate it. These guys still trying to make the outside work. We have the 45 of Enrique Quinones. We have Sean Burke in the mix. We have Jose Ruiz, and we also have Thomas Flitcroft in the back of this pack right here.
That's very, very hard racing toward the front. Now the top 8 or so have gotten, top 9 I believe, have gotten single file from behind the 223 of Sean Burke. They're still trying to figure out who wants to be in that final spot inside the top 10. Looks like it's going to be, which car is that? I'm too far away. But anyways, they're single file out toward the front. Now the 23, he looks to the high lane. The 68 of Thomas Harmon, he's going to go to the inside. Opposite move, the 23 pulled on him. The 88 is going to check up to let the 23 of Snyder in. I believe that's probably because they have worked really well together so far in this race. So he let him in to try to repay the favor of getting some pushage from that 23 machine. And so Snyder going to hold on to the 4th spot. Harmon back into a podium position in 3rd.
On board with Thomas Harmon, you can see the back bumper of FTR driver. Hunter Johnson says you can stay back there, thanks. Very confident in his super speedway abilities. This camera is brought to you by Mike's Paint and Design. Man, what a race so far, you guys. Let me know what you think. Who's your driver? I know we have a ton of fans out there for the driver. You gotta love it. And Lieutenant Thickens, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well out there. Man, oh man, I'm loving this race. You know, I think like you said, it might be a little early to get this aggressive, but hey, they're keeping it clean out here. So I'm all for it. You want to take it 2 wide, you want to take it 3 wide. Let's go. I'm all for it. Just keep it clean.
Don't, now they're single file.
They are single file right now, but just wait, Jordan. It's coming.
Yeah, the 88 of Doc Holliday, he decided to bail from out of there. I guess he wanted to get to the back of this group, and I think he might lose the draft from it. He's well behind that 45 machine of Enrique Quinones. It's going to be real tough for him to keep that momentum up, but I think he might be all right. It looks like he's gaining back on that car, but an interesting decision to pop out of that line as it got single file. Maybe he had his fill of the action up front and decided to take a little more. Actually, he's coming to pit road, so that's why he got out of line.
That'll do it. Doc Holliday to pit road led several laps here so far today. Our current leader is John Honeycutt. Hunter Johnson, his teammate, right on his back bumper, not letting go even around the turns, which can be quite scary here at the super speedway. So you can see Thomas Harmon, we talked about it earlier, these guys will leave a space. You have to. If you are not the pusher, pushing the leader, you want to give the space. Just it upsets the car too much, will get them loose and easily turn them. A lot of checking up for these guys throughout the field, more than you realize. You're off the gas quite a bit, and we have 2 huge packs here. Kind of crazy.
Ryan Crooks pulled the do-si-do on the 23 of Snyder, pushed him out. Snyder went to the outside, and Crooks filled the spot and moved into the 4th spot. Now that group really starting to lose a lot of momentum here. Looks like Crooks maybe trying to back him up, try to get a run going. The 68, he lets off the back bumper of that 32. We're going to see what this 25 does. I imagine he's going to try to pop to the outside here, and he does as well. Going to be real tight on the 68, trying to get some side drafts. Oh, the 17! It's so early to be betraying people, but he does it to the 25, and he pulls into the bottom line. He is in that 4 spot now.
These guys are getting super racy. I mean, you know, we're headed to the playoffs of 8, guys. Next week, we are headed to Auto Club. So it's going to be wild. This is one of these races where a lot of drivers feel like they can compete for the win. They need that win. No one has punched their ticket into the final 8. So a lot of these guys are wanting to. You have 29 drivers out here. They're all willing and ready to take that win, and they're making the moves to try to get it done. John Honeycutt still out here in the lead. We have Hunter Johnson in second, Thomas Harmon in third, and take a look, Jordan. We have a second line here led by none other than Cole Snyder.
Yeah, Snyder's been wanting to get that outside lane to work. He's wanting to get people to think he's working that outside lane. Now he's back in that bottom line. And there's 22 cars still, it looks like, attached to this back line. Now Douglas King starting to fall off just a little bit, but following along with the back, the 5 car, the last car in line there on the inside of the 20 of Jacob Kerr. Haven't spoken his name all race long, but he has been one of those drivers hanging out in the back of the pack. Now this is one large group. He is in that outside lane, and he's kind of where I want to be. If you can't be leading the race, you want to be in that outside lane at the very back of that front pack. You want to have that opportunity to be aggressive, to hold on to that group, but you want to be in a nice safe spot where you can see everything and you have the maneuverability to miss any kind of stupidity or craziness or insanity that might happen. But now the 29 of Jose Ruiz, he has hopped out to the outside, and here are a couple of Xbox NASCAR heat drivers trying to push each other in that outside lane. The 29 of Jose Ruiz with the 8 of Thomas Flitcroft behind him.
We have the 53 of Jamie Haynes trying to push them also on the high side. And for those who know Jose, he loves the outside. It doesn't matter where it is. You will more than likely find him on the outside. He always tends to make it work. But man, oh man, I'm loving the racing tonight. I don't know about you guys, but this is the kind of racing that just gets me so excited to watch here. Super speedway racing, there's so much that goes into it. You have to really watch everything around you. What's in front of you, what's behind you, what's to the side. It is such close quarters that you have to be able to react quick enough to perhaps miss a wreck, stay off the guy in front of you. It's just so much goes into it, Jordan.
Watching that outside lane, I think the 29 missed an opportunity there. Maybe should have gone to the outside of the 25. Don't know if the 53 and the rest of those drivers would have gone around him, but I think that kind of checked that line up a little bit. But now the 91 of Sean Blanchard has moved up into that outside lane with Crooks pushing on him. Jose Ruiz now third in that line. We'll see if that line can get some momentum going down this back straight. They're losing a little bit. Oh, Crooks got to his... Oh, that's so sketchy when they get out there. Yeah, this outside lane's just starting to stack up just a little bit. I think they had an opportunity to be aggressive there, just weren't able to take it. Now it's starting to break up just a little bit.
Lap 36 of 75. I feel like the top guys, a lot of space for these guys. There's no threat for them at the moment. The high side, they're trying all they can. I mean, A for effort out there, but it is just so hard to keep that momentum and try to gain spots. You can see him really keeping it tight together, having a couple of issues earlier that are keeping these guys from really making a lot of moves. And you just need the numbers. Boy, oh boy, do you need the numbers, and they are trying. You can see how tight they are together. The 25 all over the 91. That is Ryan Crooks trying to push him past. They got their work cut out for him.
Yeah, and the distressing thing is usually that outside lane, even if it's at a disadvantage, you can still visually see a run down the straightaways from that high line, and we're just not seeing that right now with the 91 leading it. Now he pops down to that inside lane, maybe to get a little bit of draft off that car on the inside, but that's going to create an even bigger gap between himself and the 25. He's going to have to make a decision here. He decides to get down into the bottom lane. That was probably the correct one for him, but now Ryan Crooks, his car shoots out like it was shot out of a cannon. He's going to get alongside that 91 of Sean Blanchard after being pretty well behind that 60 of Charles Mosley. We'll see if Crooks can lead this group a little bit faster. He's neck and neck with the 91, and again, that outside lane just not able to get any momentum out of the corners, which is where that outside lane has to prevail and has to make up time if it is going to compete with that inside lane, and it's just not doing it.
The high banks at Talladega really helps these drivers take it at these speeds. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. Love that camera angle, and you can just see him fly past Sean Blanchard, past the 84, and he is coming up on the 223 of Sean Burke. What has changed? Let's take a look. They are starting to get a lot of momentum out there. Jose Ruiz, he is right behind him, not even directly on him as they are around the corner. He will go ahead and close up to that 25 as they are on the backstretch right now, going into turn 3. But man, oh man, a lot of momentum made there through those corners there, Jordan.
Yeah, it's working better on the exit of 4 than it is. It's working better on the front straight than it is on the back straight, which with the dog leg there, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They're working by the lap car of the 3 of Connor Cunningham. Now, the Robert Reynolds holding in that line. That is a very aggressive move for a car getting lapped. I believe that's Reynolds. Maybe not. Yeah, that is the 10 of Robert Reynolds getting lapped there. Currently the first car now 1 lap down, holding tight in that outside lane, kind of forcing them to try to make a move, and dicey situation for those guys, but they're able to get clear. And now the 25 of Ryan Crooks now trying to soldier on and keep that momentum up. The 8 of Tom Flitcroft, he was 3rd in that outside lane. He has gone to the inside. He is now pulling alongside Jose Ruiz. Still not a lot of aggression out of these lines as far as pinching each other, tight, or trying to side draft or work each other too hard. And that might be part of what's hurting this outside lane is it being conservative. But I think at this point in the race, that's the way to play it. You just gotta try to work hard to get some speed up and keep momentum up, and hope you can get the numbers to be able to make the pace to get around that inside lane.
Mike's Paint and Designs brings you this camera angle right here of Jamie Haynes trying to work it with the 29 of Jose Ruiz. These guys have been on the outside. You can see Thomas Flitcroft in that 8 car on the inside. These guys, I mean, it feels like it might be, even on the outside, a bit of a Sunday drive. They make it look very easy, and I can assure you it can be very stressful. There we go, pit stops for quite a few of them. And it looks like John Honeycutt is one of them. Let's take a look.
Yeah, our leader comes in, and he's one of those drivers that, when you're out front, it's really, really tough to save any sort of fuel because you're full throttle the whole way and you don't have any benefit of the draft. So it makes sense that he would be one of the first few. The 45 and the 23 two teammates. So the 45 looked like slid through his pit box a little bit, so going to be a slow pit stop for Enrique Quinones. The 91 of Sean Blanchard also on pit road. So a nice group of 4 here. Now, this is going to be tough for the 45. I think the 45 might have taken only 2 there to make up for it. I think the 23 might have taken everything.
Home 34.
These guys getting back out on the track. John Honeycutt out first. Sean Blanchard, Enrique Quinones, Cole Snyder, and Jorge Rincon, he is out there on pit road. So Hunter Johnson.
Oh, the 84.
What happened to the 84?
He stuck his right sides out. Oh, and then had to slow down really quickly to get into his pit box. He missed his pit box bad, but yeah, he overshot pit road. So Mike Bain, who was having a pretty solid run, was in 8th the previous lap around. But yeah, he put his right sides in the grass and then missed his pit box. So this is going to be a really slow stop here for the 84.
Over 10 people on to pit road right now. Hunter Johnson, Thomas Harmon, Matt O'Brien, Andrew Wisdom, Sean Burke, Bud Shear, and Chris Fathke. They have stayed out while most of the rest of the guys have gone in, and looks like these guys are going in next.
Yeah, the 29 of Jose Ruiz leads that group off of pit road, followed by the 8 of Tom Flitcroft and the 25 of Ryan Crooks. Those are the three leading it out, and now everybody trying to get out of pit road. You have to funnel into a very tiny little amount of banking coming off of that, coming out of pit road, so it can be a little bit dicey of a proposition, especially when all these drivers are trying to get up to speed, but able to do so. It looks like the 50 of John Honeycutt going to file in right behind this front group of three after he had to make his stop.
Hopefully he can keep the draft. If not, he's going to have to hook up with the three behind him. Looks like he may already be out of the draft. It's going to be close. Really tough to be in that position. But I'll tell you what, 3 different groups went on to pit road, and this is where you got to do some planning. You don't want to go in with 29 other guys at full speed. You're just asking for something crazy to happen. So these guys are planning, hey, who are you going in with? What can I do strategy-wise to go in with a few people so I have somebody to work with? But I don't want to go in with everyone so that we all wreck on the pit road. So good strategy for these guys splitting it up. Andrew Wisdom is going to be our current leader.
Yeah, it looks like the 9 won the race off of pit road, the 68 and the 32 as well. So that second group, that final group, the third group, I should say, of pitters actually look like they were the ones that came out. And that, you see a difference. Sometimes the drivers that come in first, they get out there, they get organized together. They have those little bit fresher tires, whether it's just rights or a full set of 4, maybe just left, depending on how you approach changing tires at one of these races. You can make up a lot of time by being pragmatic or practical, however you want to say it, with your tire sets, and that might have been how they were able to make up this gap. Also, might have been able to make it up just drafting really hard on their in lap and getting into pit road really hard. These are 3 drivers that you would expect to be able to make up a lot of time getting on and off pit road.
Andrew Wisdom sitting P3, Hunter Johnson and Thomas Harmon made their way past our leader, and they are going to be currently leading this race. You can see the nice camera angle out here. I know this is one of the favorites, and this is for Hi-Tek Security Services in car cam. Hopefully Andrew Wisdom can make his way up there. It is going to be super tight, but we have quite a group of cars joining together now. Quite a group. You can see John Honeycutt at the end of that group. Sean Burke, he's going to be P8 in that 223. Again, it is his birthday today. He's looking for a win here tonight to celebrate. What a celebration that would be. Ryan Crooks in P7. He's in that 25 car. Thomas Flitcroft in the number 8. Jose Ruiz going to be in 5th. Matt O'Brien in 4th. Andrew Wisdom, who was leading coming off of pit road, he is now in 3rd. Hunter Johnson in 2nd. And Thomas Harmon, he's going to be our current leader.
Yeah, the 9 of Andrew Wisdom went around the outside there. Him and the 17 able to work their way in onto the bumpers of our 2 leaders here. So looks like the 9, he's really checking up. It looks kind of squirrely, maybe getting an aggressive push from that 17 down the straightaway. But either way, looks like 9 cars in this front pack, at least 9 on the lead lap cars. Yeah, there's actually 10 in this pack, but 9 of them are on the lead lap, and the rest are trying to work hard to catch up, and they're going to be able to catch up if they keep racing like this out front. The 9, he gets turned! Big wreck, 3 cars around toward the front.
Let's take a look at that replay. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to go back to him. Let's try to get a look at that.
We have problems.
Oh my gosh. Man, you can see the 9 car just gets turned into the 68. Not much the 68 can do. And I was just about to say, Thomas Harmon out here in that 68. He won last race at Las Vegas. He is not in the playoffs. He also won at Daytona just a few races ago, so this guy knows how to get it done at super speedways. He got it done last week at Las Vegas. He's looking for another win tonight. However, that was a hard hit there, Jordan.
Yeah, that was a really hard hit, and it's pretty bizarre. He was riding on his outside lane, or he was riding in on his outside bumper, and he got over to the left side and hooked him. That's yeah, that's just what happened there. He was pushing really hard and just moseyed on over enough to the left side, and if you get over there just barely enough, they wreck.
Not much you can do about that. I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys are all awesome. Thank you. Hall, thank you for the biddies. You guys are awesome. MK Gaming says, O'Brien, hard pushing. You know, these guys are trying to get it done. They got playoffs. You can see him out here in that number 17. This guy is looking for a win. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings. O'Brien, 2017. He's sitting P10. He needs a win here. And I was talking to him earlier, and he said that he might have to travel once again. He missed one. Well, actually, he didn't even miss one race. He raced while on the road. It did not go well for him. So tonight is very important for Matt O'Brien. And I really would hate to see him being taken out of playoffs, considering he just had to race from out of town and it didn't go well for him. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So will we see him take a win tonight, punch his ticket into the final 8? We're gonna have to find out. But boy, oh boy, this racing is crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, I was flipping through cars there, and Hunter Johnson, his race just went from bad to a little bit worse there. He was spun by a car coming out of its pits box as he was trying to get into his. Not sure what car got him. Gonna see here. Looks like that is the 5 of Michael York. Michael York was running right down by the pit boxes. Not really sure why, but yeah, he was just riding there. The 32 came across his nose trying to get to his pit road and spun it out.
Really unfortunate. And that is FTR teammates. Failhorn right there. Unfortunate to see, but Sean Burke in that 223, he will be leading us off back to green. I want to have a little chat with him. Let's bring him in the booth. Sean, it is Eliza in the booth. How you doing? You got a copy, Sean? I'll put him back in his chat. Oh, he's gone. He's like, I do not want to chat. It is his birthday. Happy birthday. And he does not want the booth curse, Jordan. He got out of there pretty quick. We'll leave you alone, Sean. No jinxing you tonight.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've gotten a hard no from somebody, or at the very least I'm just gonna pretend I'm not here right now. Please leave a message.
You didn't see me. I'm just getting out of here.
Sean Burke cannot come to the phone right now. Please leave your name and number and never call back again.
We love you, Sean. Failhorn played. York is gonna be requested to the team hauler. You know, it happens. Intensity about to be picked up. J Ray says, I think you're right. I think it is on like Donkey Kong almost at this point. Lap 49 of 75, Jordan.
The 223 has some rear damage on it, and I scrolled back a little ways just to see if I could find it. And the 50 of John Honeycutt, they were the last 2 cars in that front pack before that yellow came out, and going into turn 1, not with the wreck, there was a bit of a checkup and accordion, and the 50 hit him really hard, so there might be some damage on that 50 machine that they needed to repair during this previous yellow. Maybe they are holding on to it, but yeah, that's where the crinklage in the 223's rear end came from, some contact with the 50.
50 will be starting on the outside, directly behind teammate Tom Flitcroft in that number 8. You can see the Hi-Tek Security Services cam for in-car. Love this view for John Honeycutt here, out here in the 50. Sitting P2 in points. I mean, he's doing a great job. You can see a couple other drivers out there dressed in purple. You know what that means? They are in the playoffs. The battle for the round of 8 is definitely heating up. It's about to get crazy, you guys. Sean, I see you out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get down to business, he says. Let me know how your racing's going. I know you were out there racing, so pretty awesome to see. In real life. Not even on iRacing. He's out there in real life. Sean Burke gonna lead us back to green. He's gonna be on that inside with Matt O'Brien on the outside. Andrew Wisdom in that 9 behind him. These two, I'll tell you what, they are always out front. The 17 and the 9, so no different here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway for the Hi-Tek Security Services 75.
Yeah, and the 9 just had to repair some pretty significant damage from that last incident, so I have to imagine he's going to be conservatively aggressive or aggressively conservative, but there are 25 laps remaining, so that time for taking it easy is, if it ain't gone, it's just about away and off and running, and yeah, these guys are going to have to start getting aggressive if they want to get a good finish in this race. The 223 is off, and we are green red flag racing.
Here we go. The 223 leads us off. Matt O'Brien directly behind him. These guys are double file. We're going to see if we can make it work on the outside. Tom Flitcroft trying to find his way to the low side. He tucks in that green and black number 8 car. John Honeycutt looks to still be on the outside. Teammate Tom Flitcroft tries to take it with him. He's got Jose Ruiz in that 29 directly behind him. We'll see if these guys can't make it work. But man, you guys have seen it all night. It is just so extremely tough out there. But these guys, they're having some momentum, Jordan.
Yeah, Tom Flitcroft trying to make that outside work, and now they're starting to run that bottom lane a little tight. You can see him working down toward that 9 machine, but that's honestly gonna work to side draft him just a little bit. Now the 50 of John Honeycutt pushing on him. The 8 of Tom Flitcroft, he blinked out of existence. We're gonna see how that works for that outside lane, and that's an issue that we keep having with Tom. He keeps getting toward the front, and then he keeps disappearing in and out of existence.
That was a long disappearing act. Oh my goodness, look how far back they came. If they can do it once, they can do it again. We have a car coming out there to help him. That is Jose Ruiz if there's a high side. He will be there to take it. And pack, they are going to the front. The 29 of Jose Ruiz leading the pack. Tom Flitcroft right behind. And on the inside, Sean Burke is still leading the group with Matt O'Brien very close behind. A lot of Honeycutt fans out here. You can see John Honeycutt. These guys are so close. He's sitting P8 right now. That's how crazy this is. That's a lot of close racing. That many cars in that short distance. You could put a blanket over him. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild that outside lane just isn't able to get any momentum going. The 8 is pushing the 29 incredibly aggressively. Gets to his outside, has to check up just a little bit, but he is pushing so freaking hard, and they're just not able to make up any ground. Now they get a little bit of going in. Look at who's in the inside line and that fourth row. Jacob Kerr, again, we have not talked about it really all night. He has somehow shown himself in that inside lane. I think he might want to get to that outside lane. He's another one of those Xbox NASCAR heat drivers that has worked his way over to iRacing to go have a little bit of fun and do a little league racing. Yeah, I think he wants to get up there with the 29 and the 8. He's comfortable racing around those guys. I think he wants to, but he's just not able to get clear as that outside lane continues to generate momentum. And the 9 really not pushing hard on the 17 or the 223. I think that is really helping this outside lane, but they're having to work really hard. Have to be curious about the temps on that 8 machine. Looks like they're okay. He's now given a pretty good berth to that 29, but that outside lane starting to show a little bit of life because it's gathering the numbers.
They're gathering the numbers, and Jacob Kerr, as he moves out to the outside in the IT Defenses number 20 car. A lot of FTR teammates right there. We have the 20, we have the 8, and we have the 50. Very, very close for these guys. So we'll see if they can make any moves. They're using that momentum, and they're starting to get to the front just a little more, Jordan. But man, it is tough out there. As soon as I say that, they're starting to fall back throughout the corner.
And now the 20 was able to move up into the outside lane. But now, yeah, they're starting to lose a lot of ground. The 29 not really pushing that hard on the 20. Now he's going to get up there. Now the 25 of Ryan Crooks. That's going to turn Kerr into the pusher into that 20. He's going to be the pusher in the 20 into the 25. Crooks now going to try to lead that outside lane to the land of milk and honey, but they've got a long way to go to get around the 223, the 17, and the 9.
We're on board the Hi-Tek Security Services in-car cam, and he is all over the back bumper of it looks like Hunter Johnson in that 25. Oh, no, that's Ryan Crooks. I don't miss, let alone miss you. All these guys with these back bumpers, I swear. Still making that outside work. You can see Andrew Wisdom on the inside. Matt O'Brien on the inside with Sean Burke still leading this. Man, oh man, absolutely crazy for these guys.
The 20 getting onto the rear bumper of that 25. They might be able to generate some good momentum here on that outside lane. We'll see. Just not quite anything there. Now they're starting to move forward just a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be able to get him any more than alongside. Well, that's not even going to get him alongside the 9 of Wisdom. They're going to be stuck alongside that 27 machine of Christopher Fathke. We saw him earlier in this race actually losing the draft, and he has found his way into the 5th position. So a nice rebound by that 27, the 8 machine. He looks like he's bailing out. I think he thinks these guys are going to wreck behind him. I believe that's the 41 of Justin Mons. He was trying to get a lap back. He went to the outside lane. Now he's going to have to drop back in line. This outside lane gotten real disorganized from all that movement. We're going to see if they're able to push back up there and help those 3 that are working incredibly hard to try to make some ground in that high line.
Chris Fathke looking at the top 5 at the moment in that Ghostbusters car, and I gotta give him a shout. He's got my Frozen Toes logo on there. Gotta love you. Thank you so much. Doing good out here, and I'll tell you what, let's take a look at the point standings. I keep taking a look at it, but he is sitting P7 at the moment, and this guy, he was like, I didn't even think I was gonna make it in the playoffs, but take a look at this. Top 10 for him. He's doing great out there.
Yeah, the 20 slid up about a half a car width in the middle of 1 and 2, and the 29, I think, kind of instinctively, whatever. I don't know grammar. The 29 let off just a little bit there, and that ended up checking up that whole outside lane. They're holding serve for the most part, but just not really able to make any ground up as the laps continue to tick away. There will be 17 to go here at the line.
MK Gaming says Burke and O'Brien in the safest spot. About to get crazy. You're right. I mean, well, the outside line.
The top 2 died in that previous yellow. So,
well, that's true. That is true. My worry right now is for the pusher of that high side. Jacob Kerr all over the back bumper. You know he's getting ready to overheat that thing. I have not seen him off the back bumper of Ryan Crooks. Not a lot at all. I mean, he is pretty much making that into one car out there, taking a peek on the outside, trying to let the car breathe, trying to cool it off a little bit. It's going to be in a situation where he's going to have to back out or try to get down low because that car's going to start overheating pretty bad.
I think the 20's keeping a decent distance at different points, but I think I heard on the radio something about 300. I don't know if that's temps or if that's a time. I'm hoping that's not temps, but either way, yeah, the 20 being real aggressive, trying to push on that 25 of Ryan Crooks. They've gotten up to the 3rd car. Now they're trying to get alongside that 2nd of Matthew O'Brien. And if they can continue up this momentum, but there's going to be a big check, a big accordion here as they all try to let off of each other. Let's see if that causes any issues. It doesn't. The 68 might have gotten into the 15 a little bit there, but other than that, pretty smooth transition, and they're going to be able to keep a lot of momentum going in that outside lane.
Take a look at that momentum. Jacob Kerr in that 20 IT Defenses car moves up to 2nd. The 25 takes over the lead. He's going to leave the high side out. Jacob Kerr is going to go on that outside, stay there, and try to make something happen. But boy, oh boy, you guys, this is crazy. I love this racing. We're even 3 wide side. 2 rows deep in the back of the pack. It is coming down to the wire. We still got 15 laps, guys. You would think it was coming down to the wire. But in super speedway racing, we still got a little bit of racing left, and these guys are keeping it green. Knock on wood, I don't want to jinx them, but boy, oh boy, this is some crazy wild racing.
Yeah, we saw how long it takes to make a pass. You know, there's about it took about 10 laps for these drivers to be able to make that one move, and that's you hate to see it if you're that second car in the outside lane. Kerr had to do a lot of work to push the 25 of Crooks by, but as soon as he was clear on the inside, he went down to that bottom lane to protect that inside lane, because that's just what you have to do. You hate to see it, but it's just what you got to do. Now the 20 trying to fight back on that outside lane. He's going to get alongside the 227. We'll see if they're able to generate any momentum. It doesn't look like the 29 is on his rear bumper enough to be able to do so here, but they're still going to be able to make a decent run. Oh, the 20 goes down. Able to get a decent side draft without stalling himself. That was a pretty solid job, but now they're going to be really high through to their end. They're wrecking in the back, the 88 and the 93 of Bud Shearer involved.
4th caution of the night is going to come out, and let's see if they'll let us know what happened there. Oh my goodness. I want to get a replay on that.
Yeah,
the 93 just comes up. Doc Holliday involved of quite a few cars. Justin Mons not having a great night at Talladega.
Yeah, the 88, they accordioned, and he just wasn't anticipating it. Got into the 93 really hard, and yeah, they're just so, you're so deep in the field, you can't be. You want to be aggressive, you just can't be that aggressive that deep in here. And yeah, the 93, yeah, it looked like he might have hooked it right there, maybe going over the transition. Gonna have to look at his cockpit there. And actually, no, he's turned to the left.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. Ryan Crooks out here in the lead at Talladega. We have some fans for him out here. Says, go baby 25. Nice. You know what, Kool-Aid? You are absolutely correct. That was a win for that high side. I mean, they completely nailed it up there, lap after lap, never gave up. To be honest, I don't think I've seen a group of guys really work that long and that consistently make that work out there. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. And Hall, thank you so much for the 250 biddies. I appreciate it. A couple of guys on to pit road right here. More than a few, Jordan. 13 laps to go.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
I'm getting nervous. I'm getting excited. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting all sorts of everything.
It's either going to be insane or it's going to be what we've seen, and these drivers are just going to struggle to be making a move, and that's where we're going to see an incident from, is guys getting hyper aggressive to try to make a move happen. But you're gonna have to be. I mean, these guys had to work so hard to make any sort of ground up on that outside lane. They had to work so hard, and they were only able to get one driver clear. So yeah, there's gonna be some tough work in here.
Absolutely. Jacob Kerr was trying to rock the outside, definitely made it happen. He's going to be restarting in second, right behind our leader, Ryan Crooks. Matt O'Brien in third. He feels he's in a must-win situation. We'll see if he can make it happen. Jose Ruiz in the 29 car up here in the top 5, sitting P4 with Andrew Wisdom. He is rounding out the top 5. John Honeycutt in 6. Teammate Tom Flitcroft in 7th. Chris Fathke in that number 27. He's going to be P8. Mike Everidge in 9th. And Thomas Harmon, who was the leader at one point and had a nasty wreck, just nowhere to go for him. He's going to be in the top 10 there, Jordan. Kool-Aid says fuel will be close, but I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to assume that says, you know, after last night, lesson learned. I was in the top 3 the entire race, led quite a few laps. Ran out of fuel as soon as a caution came out, got pushed onto pit road by a fellow driver, which was completely awesome. Thank you so much. and came back to finish second after restarting 18th. Don't run out of fuel, gentlemen. It gets crazy. MK Gaming says, pay attention, Kool-Aid. We have Chris Tricky rooting for the 25 of Ryan Crooks. Moonhead. Moonhead, is that the Moonhead? Just followed. What up, man? Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're enjoying your night.
That's coincidental because we might have just had some beef out there.
There might be some beef, guys. I think we've already, yeah, like you said, I think we already had some beef. We'll see what kind of beef these guys can cook up. Hopefully not too much as we're headed to the round of 8. A lot of these guys looking to secure a win, trying to punch their ticket into the final 8. Battling for the championship. A long season. This season started, I'm pretty sure, in February. So, you know, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication for these guys to be out here. Moonhead says beef. Get that win, number 45. Let's go. Oh my goodness, Ryan Crooks gonna be leading us off. Jacob Kerr on the outside. 11 laps to go, you guys. Who's winning this thing? Who's gonna take it home? Will it be a playoff driver that can punch their ticket into the final 8? Or will it be like last week? And it is just going to be a driver looking for a win because they're going to race their heart out. Harmon winning 2 races recently. Non-playoff driver, Jordan.
Yeah, so much of this race we've seen playoff drivers toward the front, but now our front row, Jacob Kerr and Ryan Crooks, neither of those two in the playoffs. Jose Ruiz in 4th, not a playoff driver. Tom Flitcroft in that 7th position, not a playoff driver, and then in that 5th row, the 24 of Michael Everidge and the 68 of Thomas Harmon, those two are not playoff drivers. So we've slowly seen some drivers that are hungry without a whole lot to lose work their way to the front here in the closing laps of this race. 10 to go whenever the green flag flies.
Jacob Kerr really gonna have to be on it on that outside. Ryan Crooks getting ready to lead us off, and Jacob Kerr's gonna have some help from Jose, but Matt O'Brien, he's already looking at the bumper of that 25. These guys are so stacked up. This is making me nervous, Jordan. This is when things can get a little crazy. We're gonna see what they can do here.
Yeah, Kerr had, Crooks got a little bit, maybe too good of a restart here. He might be in trouble when these drivers suck back up to him. It depends on what the 17 of Matthew O'Brien chooses to do. Kerr has some good pushers. He has a surrogate teammate of sorts in Jose Ruiz, and then an actual teammate in John Honeycutt in 3rd in line there. So if those 3 can get organized, they should be able to get some good momentum going. They should be able to get clear of this 25. We'll see if he goes up to block him. He's going to feign like he wants to.
Wow.
That was the right decision to not go up there, because that was going to only end badly if he would have tried to get in front. Now the 17 of Matthew O'Brien gets to the front of him. Now Jacob Kerr is going to have a tough decision to make. I think he wants to stay up there and pull those guys around, but I don't believe that's the practical thing to do here. I don't think that's going to be a viable thing. Oh, the 29 of Jose Ruiz, he ditches the 20 of Jacob Kerr to go down to take the lead. Move Jose Ruiz to the front.
FTR drivers left out on top. No one out there to help. Just them by themselves. Jose Ruiz goes to the lead. Ryan Crooks directly behind him. Oh my gosh. 9 laps to go. It's about to get crazy. Jose Ruiz decides to go back out to the outside and help, as Jordan says, her surrogate teammates. Drops back down. He is working both lines. Good move on his end. Gonna help Jacob Kerr on the outside.
Oh, he's gonna get pushed. Oh, they actually check up. He was able to save it. The 25 was able to save it. Everyone on that inside lane was able to check up and save it, but that's going to cost him a ton of momentum. Now the 32 goes to the middle. He's going to take some drivers with him. That's going to leave Tom Flitcroft out. And wow, yeah, Tom Flitcroft, he's going to slide back through the field. Now the 20 of Jacob Kerr. Oh, the 50 tries to go down. He is not clear. He's going to slide back up into the field. The 45 of Enrique Quinones involved, as are several other drivers.
Wow, really unfortunate move. Definitely not clear on that. Man, oh man. That is going to bring a caution with 8 laps to go. And I am trying to see where that happened here. Let's try to back that up a little bit. Just not clear, man.
He was for a split second, but they were just so high up. Like, as soon as he tried to come down, he got out of the 20s draft and completely lost all momentum, slid back into the 29, and around he went. But some pretty big damage for him, and a lot of cars involved in that one.
Boy Nana says, John, you were clear, and then you weren't. Spring Rock says, I'm taking Thursday off. That guy needs a spotter. I know. You know what's funny is that last night when we were racing, I was right there by his side, and then all of a sudden he just came down right into me. He's like, I thought I was clear. You're not clear. You're not clear. Hopefully he's got a fast repair, get that thing fixed up. Jacob Kerr is gonna be in the lead. Jose Ruiz gonna be in second. Hunter Johnson gonna be in third. Ryan Crooks fourth. Thomas Harmon in fifth. This is where things get very interesting, Jordan.
Yeah, all that work, the 20 of Jacob Kerr finally has worked his way to the lead, and now he has to play defense, but that's been the position to be. It's been so difficult to complete passes out there. It took 3 drivers working incredibly hard and basically almost wrecking each other to be able to complete that pass. So this is gonna be a wild final few laps.
I don't even know what to think, man. As a team owner, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm freaking out here. I'm freaking out. We got a lot of FDR drivers out front. We have one that just was involved in that. So you can see him coming out here as we are on the Hi-Tek security services in-car cam from our leader, Jacob Kerr. As a viewer, I'm like, let's go. Let's shake it up. Let's see what these guys got. But man, oh man, I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous.
I am incredibly nervous. Yeah, the aggression's about to go through the roof here. Gonna dial it up to 11, maybe beyond. There's 12 on the board. Might try to go for that. This is gonna be crazy.
John Honeycutt out on track, trying to make his way to the pack again. So unfortunate. Sitting P23, not many laps to go, 6 laps to go. So he's gonna have to make some magic happen to get back up here.
Yeah, we'll be teammates lined up in that bottom lane, the 20 of Jacob Kerr and the 32 of Hunter Johnson. Imagine the 32 is going to be aggressive, pushing him. We'll see. God, we'll see what happens here. Will the 32 abandon the 20 as quickly as he can? Will he be able to get clear of the 29? We're going to see, but I imagine the 32 for at least a straightaway or two is going to try to lock on to the bumper of that 20 machine.
Yeah, you know, and he is in the playoffs. Hunter Johnson is. He's in a must-win situation. Meanwhile, teammate Jacob Kerr directly in front of him is not in the playoffs, joined too late in the season to be eligible to be in the playoffs. So, are you going to help a teammate or are you going to go for that win? And Hunter Johnson, he's too competitive. He's going to go for that win. Anticipation building up, Jordan. I'm excited. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm everything. And as a team owner, man, I want to see the FTR drivers out in victory lane, bringing out the top 5. So I got high hopes, but boy, oh boy, 6 laps to go. That is not a lot, and so much on the line. Honeycutt sitting 19th. Cole Snyder, another playoff driver, in 20th. It's tough out here. MK Gaming says, would like to see Jose get a very respectable driver. Jose is awesome. Sitting P2, going to be starting on that outside. We'll see if he can't get it done. Nice DuPont paint scheme there, throwback. Jordan, who do you see winning tonight? I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say, but
the driver who crosses the start-finish line on the final lap is going to win this one. No, I like the position that the 20 is in. I don't know how experienced he is in this position to play defense. I think the 29's in a decent spot, but I feel like the 25, the 17, the 9 and the 17 are going to want to get hooked up together. It just all depends on how aggressive they are trying to ditch the 25 and the 29, if that's a plan of theirs. But those two cars are going to get hooked up and try to work their way to the front, I feel like. So really think those two are going to work together. The 32, so much of this is going to hinge on how selfish the 32 is too, because if he's able to push the 20 out there and get clear of that outside lane, he has free reign to go up there to get that momentum to side draft the 20, pull up in front of whoever is leaning that outside lane and get that push by. And then you have the 68 of Harmon, who has been really good all race long, up there as well. So there's just a lot of drivers. It just depends on how this restart goes. This first lap or two is going to completely set the table for how this race is going to finish up and how these drivers position themselves for the final few laps. There's going to be 4 of them when they cross the line here. So not a lot of time to make moves, but this first lap or so, the get up to speed lap, is going to be critical if you want to win this race.
Jose Ruiz, in my point of view, he is going to be on the disadvantage point of it, starting on the outside. Extremely tough, but this is the calm before the chaos, guys. We're getting ready to go back to green with 4 laps to go once we go green, and boy oh boy, you can see the 32 all over Jacob Kerr. This 68 goes down low under the apron. The 29 of Jose looking on the outside. Man oh man, super tight. I mean, this is it. This is the final laps. I would not be surprised if we saw another caution, but Jose quickly losing momentum and falling back, Jordan.
Yeah, that outside lane, it didn't get a terrible restart, but just not up to speed. The 20 played it right, I think, waiting until the very last second to go. That keeps the field bunched up, and that keeps the momentum down to a very lowest it can be. And so that outside lane just has no fight whenever it's going as slow as it is. Meanwhile, the top 3 getting a little bit of separation from the rest of the field. The 68 of Harmon in third, the 32 of Johnson, the 20 of Kerr up in front of him. We'll see what Johnson does. He's going to go to the outside. Oh, he goes to his right rear. Yep, he's going to make that move and try to take the lead.
Hunter Johnson goes on the outside, leaves teammate Jacob Kerr out to drive. We're going to create a third line up here. Take a look at this. It goes down to 2. Hunter Johnson goes down to the lead. We're going to have Jose Ruiz on the outside. Thomas Harmon in second, trying to push Hunter Johnson. A huge pileup. Jamie Haynes involved, quite a few drivers. That's going to have to bring out the caution. I don't see any other way. I don't see it yet, but man, oh man, if that doesn't, wow.
I think the game deemed that they got off track enough. That's pretty wild. The admin's currently trying to see if there's an accident, but no yellow has flown. They're going to get to the start finish line here. The 32 continuing to lead. There will be 2 laps to go when they cross the finish line here. The 32 of Hunter Johnson leading. What will the 68 of Harmon do? When will he go? When will he make his move? What does the 20 of Jacob Kerr have planned?
You know, here's the thing, the 68, he is in a FTR sandwich right now. You got Hunter Johnson in front of him. You got Jacob Kerr behind him. Sean Blanchard may go out with the 68, but I am not in a good spot if I'm Thomas Harmon right now. I don't think that Kerr's going to go with him.
Yeah, you have to think though. The 32 just took the lead from the 20, so that teammate thing is kind of out the window at this point in the race. So I think if the 68 has momentum and goes, I think the 28 will go with him, go with where the momentum goes, and then try to sort it out. Try to find his way around both of them to win this race, but you got to go where the momentum is, regardless of who it is. Single file here as they take the white flag. I believe they're going to fan out going down this back straight. Everyone trying to get a run through 1 and 2.
I'm so nervous. Thomas Harmon, and you can see Jacob Kerr backing off a little bit, trying to get that momentum. This is what I'm talking about. I don't think that Jacob's going to go with him, but my view of it is I think he wants that win. He's trying to go out by himself and take it for himself. You know, when it comes down to it, I talked about it. Teammates or not, you got to go for that win. So Thomas Harmon, is he just going to sit back and push the 32 to a win? Or will he try to go out? Either way, we're coming down to the wire, coming down to the last part of this race. Final corner here.
Oh, that's going to completely stall that line.
Wow, Jacob Kerr getting passed by a lot. Hunter Johnson side by side at the line. He's going to take home the win, securing his spot in the final 8. He needed a win to move on, and he makes it happen tonight. Thomas Harmon in second, Matt O'Brien in third, Sean Blanchard in fourth, and Jacob Kerr, he secures a top 5. And a lot of damaged vehicles out there at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like the 20 feels like the 91 went a little early. I honestly feel like they waited a little too late. Seemed like that run really stalled out, but you got to go when you have the momentum, and the 91 just got a little impatient there, and that screwed up the 20's plans. But I don't know. I think you just kind of got to do what you think you got to do at one point. You got to do it.
He got it done. Hunter Johnson goes to victory lane, securing a spot in the final 8. Gets it done. You're going to see him do a little victory burnout here. A lot of celebrating for him tonight. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it if he did not get the win here, so he got it done. Five-car fellow teammate out here saying hello, congratulating him. Strata says, nice win, Hunter. Congrats, Hunter from Hall. Adam T. Bacon, what's up? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. The 68 of Thomas Harmon celebrating with him. Teammate John Honeycutt. Man, oh man, Hunter Johnson. What a battle tonight. Getting the win out here. Look at all the smoke, the burnout, man. I'll tell you what, being out here with Jacob Kerr, what were your thoughts going through the final couple of laps? I mean, obviously you had the win to get, so what was going through your head the final few laps?
You know, I really don't remember. Just kind of in the zone. Saw the victory there, and I knew I had to try to get it. My plan was to work with Kerr, but then once we got separated, with my nose damage not allowing me to really keep up with him, so once we got separated, it kind of changed my whole plan. Once Harmon got a good run, he got up to me, gave me a good shove. We had to go around Jacob, because if I would have checked up, I feel like that second pack-ish, if you call that, would have gotten there and made the pass work. So I had to make that move, and Harmon stuck with me for a while, and I was waiting for him to pull out. I was waiting for the second group to get up there to me, and luckily nobody else had a really good run at the end.
Just, we know you as an aggressive driver for super speedways or really any track. You're out there to push. We saw you push several drivers to the front. How was it on the outside, and how'd you make your moves?
The outside was actually pretty nice. I kind of enjoyed being up there, preferred the bottom. So once I was able to get behind somebody I thoroughly enjoyed, I was hopefully able to give them a good shove out there. And once they get cleared, and I was able to clear, we jumped to the bottom, make some more ground, and then they make another charge, so we let them do it again, kept playing with them.
Well, you punched your ticket into the playoffs for round of 8. Congratulations. Great race tonight. You had everybody on the edge of their seat. Room Haas, thank you so much for the follow. Hunter, great job out there.
Thanks. I'm surprised I locked it in once again, so maybe I can go 3 for 3 and lock myself in the next round.
We'll see what happens here. Jordan, over to you.
Yeah, here with our second place finisher tonight, Thomas Harmon. Had to bounce back from a wreck. You were leading the race, ended up getting turned while y'all were racing up at the front. Had to bounce back from that. Was able to work back up into the second position. Talk about your race tonight and how you needed things to work out a little more to come home one position better.
The for about the first 60 laps, I just wanted to ride and kept to the bottom and didn't do. Didn't want to try the high line. Well, I did try it once, but didn't really have any help. But so I went to the back and had to find my way back there. And then when I got turned, I'm just glad that nobody hit me and did more damage to the car. It was minimal damage for as hard as it felt, but had to be aggressive to get back up there and came away with a P2, so I'm happy with it.
That is Thomas Harmon, our second place finisher tonight. Another solid run. Usually, we seem to be talking to him a lot, Eliza, in the end of these races. Another strong finish for the 68 Frozen Machine.
Yeah, you know, I've talked about him throughout the night. He's had a few wins here. This is going to be his Las Vegas was his second win, so definitely talking to him quite a bit. And to round out the top three, we have Matt O'Brien in that 17. Man, I'll tell you what, I know you were looking for a win here tonight. How did it go for you, and what do you think your chances are moving forward to get into the 8?
This was pretty frustrating because, at the start of the race, me and Andrew had we were 1-2, we had control. And then we had a person stay out and screw everything up basically for us. And it was just, it happened twice. Like I got in the lead and the guy stayed out in front of me and kind of messed everything up for me in my races just because they were doing some weird strategies that didn't make any sense to me, but that's what they do. But somehow the seas parted for me there at the end to get a third. Somehow I went 4 wide and kept it on the track and got third, but it's a good points day. And then I have a situation next week and might have a solution to solve said problem, but next week is still up in the air for me, and maybe this finish was good enough regardless of what happens next week.
Well, hopefully we'll see you there. You've been so strong throughout this entire season, so I definitely don't want, I talked about that during the broadcast, I don't want that to be the reason why you're not in the final 8, so a lot of luck to you moving forward. Hopefully we'll see you next week at Las Vegas, or I mean Auto Club.
regardless what happens, they know if I get knocked out, it's not because it's something out of my control, and they know where I would be, so under normal circumstances.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, what a race here tonight. We have Hunter Johnson with the win, and I want to thank you guys for everything. You guys for cheering on these drivers, for the broadcast. You guys are amazing, and a huge shout out to our sponsors, Hi-Tek Security Services, and also Mike's Paint and Design. Thank you so much for sponsoring the race here tonight. Next week, we're going to Auto Club. These races are crazy. A lot of pack racing, a lot of crazy speed. So this is going to be the end for the round of 12. After next week, we're going to be going to the round of 8. Things are starting to heat up, Jordan, but I'm super excited to see what happens, how it plays out. And as always, it's always fun with you, Jordan.
Yep, it's a lot of fun going Auto Club, as you said. A lot high and wide and handsome, and you can go anywhere on the racetrack and make good lap time. Shame they aren't going to the Roval. Love the Roval, one of my favorite racetracks in motorsport, but they decided on Auto Club, and so that's where we're going to call a race. It's another one of my favorite places, so not complaining, just commentating.
And we will be commentating next week at Auto Club, so be sure to tune in next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, you guys take it easy, and thank you for everything.